Good morning. Welcome to our Amud Yomi Shiur. We have a nice chart in the back, and we have the Gemara in the front, and we are in Kiddushin, Daf Mem Vav Amud Beis. We are about 10 or so lines from the bottom of the page, and the line starts with the word Kibla Alei, and the words that we're going to start off with today is V'tehevi Teruma V'yachzo V'yitoim. So let us review what we learned yesterday, so we know what's going on, where are we holding, and this year's for the Atzlocha of the whole of Klal Yisrael. May we all come back safe home. What is the Gemara talking about? We had a case yesterday of a person, a soil, who gave challah to a kohen. Every person is supposed to be mafresh challah from the dough, give it to the kohen. Okay. Today we don't give it to the kohen because they're tmein, and the kohen was told we cannot eat the challah. But conceptually, challah has to go to kohen. Now that guy in the Mishnah, what did he do? He gave the challah too early, and it wasn't yotze. It's not challah. What did he do? He took from the flour before it was dough, when it was kemach flour. He took the challah from there and gave it to the kohen. It's not good. What did the Mishnah say? Oy, 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 oy. The kohen has to give it back straight away, and if the kohen keeps it, he's a gazlan. Wow, ad kedei kach. And the Gemara kept attacking Shmuel. Remember what Shmuel said? Shmuel was talking about. Shmuel didn't speak about challah. Shmuel spoke about Kiddushin of a sister. A brother is mekadesh a sister, and everybody knows that that's just a joke. It's a charade. So why did he give her the money? Rav said that the idea is he wanted to deposit the money in her hand. Now she has to give it back to him. But Shmuel said no. When somebody gives money or anything else that we know is not halachically applicable, I did it. We interpret his deeds as him trying to give charity. He's trying to be charitable, to do chesed, and he does it in a more respectful way. Asks the Gemara, wait a second. Just like the brother gave the sister money, and he faked it as if it's like some kind of funny make-believe kiddushin, but really wants to give tzedakah, the same venue, the same idea should be by challah. Maybe the Israel wanted to give challah to the kohen as a gift. So why are you saying the kohen should give it straight? Yeah. Why does the kohen have to give it back to the Israel straight away? And we said, what's the reason? Well, we are now holding in reason number 2. There are 2 different versions. We are concerned that if the Israel will be under the illusion that the kohen received truma, the Israel, we said, does think that this is really. By the way, I say challah and truma interchangeable. I really mean challah. The Gemara also changes the terms, because really challah is like truma. It's matnas kiuna. So when the Israel gave the challah to the kohen, the Israel may think that it was yoitze challah. Oh, and if the kohen, who is the big frumi Haredi guy, accepted his challah, the Israel may think that the batch that's left back home, right, is potter, is exempt, is kosher. And he's going to now knead it with the water and everything, make nice bread for Shabbos, yeah, and eat it. Oy vavoy, Easter. It's a takolo, it's a michshol. It's called a churban. Ad kedei kach the Gemara calls it. That's why it's a problem. And we say give it back to the straw straight away. As opposed to the case of the Kiddushin, there is no such thing, because everybody knows that a sister and brother cannot be miskadesh. Nobody is concerned about anything happening. But a challah, there's a concern. The Yisrael back home will think that his leftover kemach is really good, is metukan. Frag the Gemara, let us find another solution. V'teivi truma v'yachzor v'yitoim. Why can't we say simply, allow the challah, again, truma and challah interchangeable, allow the challah to stay by the kohen, not that it's really challah. Let the kohen stay with his challah, with the flour. Why? Because really, why not? Maybe it's a kind of tzedakah. And let the Israel yachzor v'yitrom. The Israel should really take challah again. In other words, we're dealing here with the Israel Amaoretz, Kohen Talmid Chochem. Israel doesn't know much. You know what? The rabbi should teach him in shul. Mister, if you took challah from the flour, you should always take challah again after it's needed. Just teach him the halacha. That again, he should take it afterwards instead of returning the challah. Let the Israel live in his kuku land, because apparently, as we'll see later, he won't accept it. Let the coin stay with the flour, yeah, as matono. And the coin knows that it's not challah. The coin will take his own challah. The coin is okay, according to this pshat. The Israel you're concerned will eat the treifa, so to speak, bread. No, tell the Israel to take challah again. Really, it's first time. to take it again after he needs it, and then he'll finish and then give again to the coin. Very good. Milo Tanan, and we're supporting this line of thinking. We're supporting this mindset by proving it from the following Mishnah. What does the Mishnah say? It says as similar, but in a way opposite case from what we saw yesterday. Oh, we know by now what's Eino Nokuv al Nokuv. A person has two atzitzim. What's an atzitz? Plant, flower pot. It's not the plant itself, it's the plant pot. Yeah, it's a flower pot. Yeah, the atzitz itself is not the plant. Plant is tzemach. When you buy an atzitz in the store, yeah, the atzitz itself is atzitz ches, is a flower pot. Wherever other, yeah, it's flower pot. Yeah, that's what it's called in English. Yeah. So, yeah, British, okay, the flower pot. So then, yeah, don't buy the pot, just the flower pot. Okay, so now, if you have a flower pot, which is, let's stay there. Let's now, a flower pot which is Eino Nokuv, meaning what? It's not perforated. It's made of hard plastic or metal, not cheres. So it's not porous. And it doesn't breathe from the ground, so to speak. It doesn't receive any nourishment from the ground. Do you have to take Meiser Midoraisa on anything that grows in an Eino Nokuv? No, because it's not connected to the real ground, to the karkoilum, to the earth, right? And therefore what? You don't have to take Meiser. You have two pots in your house, Eino Nokuv and Nokuv. What's Nokuv? Perforated and sitting on the ground. You have to take Meiser because it gets some kind of nourishment of avir from the ground. Now, you took Meiser, listen to this, from the grapes, let's say, that grew in an otzitz Eino Nokuv. Midoraisa, it's like took Meiser from plastic toys. Midoraisa, nothing to Rabbanon now. Yeah, so you took Meiser, gave it to the Kohen. The Kohen receives it with a big smile, thinking in his heart, this guy really needs to learn halachas, yeah? And now the Kohen received those truma, which is not really truma, now, and we don't say to the Kohen, Kohen, give it back straight away, because Israel may think the wrong thing. No, there we don't say that. You know what we do? The Yachzer v'yitron. We tell the Israel, mister, you took Meiser and Trumas and Meisers from the Otzit She'en and Okov, and now, oh, very good. On the Nokov, he's trying to now patter the good stuff, not good, that stuff that grew really in Nokov, they really need Meiser. Oy vavoy. We're telling him it's not Oy vavoy. Take Meiser again from the Nokov that required Truma. That's all. And in other words, so why are you saying here that the Kohen has to ASAP, red alert, give back the challah to the Israel to make sure Israel doesn't live under the wrong illusion? Mashakin but Truma, we said no. Let the Kohen stay with that. And of course, the Kohen will take Meiser because we want to gift the Kohen, right? And the Israel will say, take again, so nothing happened. What's the difference? Answer the Gemara. We answered that already. How Kimna, we explained it already. Betrei manitzois, the chadman alot sois, period. Which means, in the Balabatish human mind, yeah, when you tell a person, listen, Mr. Amoritz, maybe we don't call him Amoritz, it's not nice, right? Mr. So-and-so, yeah, Mr. Not very learned. What? I'm young, right? Prince of Bela's husband, yeah. When you are, I don't mean anyone specific, Chas v'shalom, yeah. People watch me online, I just make up names, yeah. So now, if you tell the person, listen, mister, you took Meiser from one pot, which one? The Eino Nokuv, which is nonsense, yeah. Now take from the Nokuv. Each flower pot deserves its own Meiser. Even the person who's not very knowledgeable can understand some kind of order, and he would size. What's let's say it in Hebrew? To obey. He'll obey us. He'll be tzaitan. He'll be mitzayet. Okay, so good. Bechad monolotzois. In our case of challah, how many dishes are there? One. There's one, not flour pot, but flour pot. Flour. Yeah. There's one dish with flour, with kemach, right? And he says, I took Meiser already. I took challah. Why are the rabbis telling me to take challah again from the very same batch? I don't see the difference. And he won't listen to us. And that's so the only way to get him out of his mistake, to shake him out of his illusion, is for the Kohen to give back the kemach. By giving back? To tell him in his face, what you did wasn't challah at all. That's the only way. Oh, Baruch Hashem. So now at the end of the day, let's not get confused. Shmuel is doing okay now. Shmuel can coexist with the Mishnah. Why? As we said before, what did we say? A sister receiving Kiddushin knows that she's not married, and the brother knows. So why did he give it to her? Matana. It's a respectful act to give Matana to play some kind of silly game. Let's be mekadesh you, and she stays with the $500 that she really needs to buy food with. Okay, fine, single girl, she needs the money. Masha'inkin, in the case of the kemach, no, there's a danger over there. You can't just say, okay, let's give it to the kohen misken. No, 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 no. The kohen and misken may be poor. We're not going to let the kohen, poor kohen misken, to stay with the kemach. Why? Because that Israel would think that the chali gave was really good, and that's a mistake. That mistake would cost him with his life. It's chayv misa. One more segment in the sugya before we finish the sugya. Are you sure that a person would not listen if we tell him to take meiser again from the same batch? I'll prove you wrong. That none. Listen to this is, by the way, negalocha meiser. If you ever take meiser, which I recommend you do, yeah, I'm saying if you don't, here we have good achsherim in the neighborhood, but if you go to places where the achsher is not so good, you have to take meiser alone. You may have to ask a rabbi how to do that. I used to do that as a teenager, like every day almost, yeah, or twice a week at least, yeah. I was very used to it in our holy city, yeah. But none. So now the question is as follows. I'm asking you a question. You have a whole bunch of tomatoes, right? Of grapes. They're different. That's very Rabbanon. That's very Doraisa. What kind of grapes should you give the Meiser, the Truma? The good ones or the bad ones, the middle ones? The good ones. The bad ones, the ones that are half rotten, that are not so good, as long as they're edible, although they're edible, but they're not the good piece, don't give them. Today, I don't know if it applies because today the Kohanim don't eat them, but it's also a shaila. Me'ikar adin, Be'ezras Hashem, Beis HaMikdash will be built soon, and you really have to give truma to the Kohen. If you gave truma of what? Something that's bad, now we're talking about something really bad, then the truma is not good. You're not supposed to give truma from the bad quality fruit. Says the Mishnah, that's none. Atoyrim kishois, v'nimtza moro, you gave truma from kishois is a kind of gherkin, cucumber, one of those. I'm not sure how it's called translates. I don't look at the article so much. Yeah, what's kishois? It's some kind of gherkin. It's either zucchini or pumpkin, something like that. V'nimtza moro, and it's bitter. It's mamish bitter. It's worse than bad quality. Avatiach v'nimtza saruach. Yeah, you take from the avatiach, which in modern Hebrew is watermelon, something like that, and it's saruach, it's sour, it's bad quality. Truma v'yachzor v'yitroim, which means now it stays with the kohen, but because it's not good truma, we tell the Israel, take truma again. So you see, very similar idea. I gave truma for something which at that moment the Gemara thinks I'm not yoitze. It's like taking from the kemach, right? I gave truma, bad truma, not the truma that Hashem wants me to give, but we don't say to the Kohen, give it back to the Israel straight away, because no, we stay calm and we say the Kohen should stay with the bad. I'm sorry for the Kohen, yeah, he should stay with the bad truma, with the, excuse my language, with the fashtunken fruit that he has, and to the Israel we say take truma again. So you see that we do tell the Israel sometimes to take truma again from the same batch, and we assume that he would listen. What's the difference? And says the Gemara, it's not the same. Shiny Hossam, yeah, that's why there was a bit of an ambiguous point over here. It's not the same. Over there, if you take truma that is bad quality, as long as it's somehow edible for human consumption, it's still okay for human consumption. Although b'di'evet b'doichak, midoraisa, it's good truma. Rabbanan instituted that it's not good truma and you have to take again. But midoraisa, it's good truma. And that's why we're not so machmir to say that you should give it back to him. And soon I'm going to explain more. First of all, I'm going to, no. First of all, I will explain with Rashi and then we'll continue. You know why here, when the truma medoraisa, it's good truma. Yeah? Medoraisa, it's good truma. That bad, smelly avatiach is valid truma. But he has to take truma again. Now, what did we suggest? Why didn't you tell the Kohen to knock on the door of the Israel and say, I'm sorry, the truma gave me is really bad. I'm giving it back to you. Why don't you do that? You know why? I'll tell you why. Says the Gemara, says Rashi, something genius. By challah, when he gave him the kemach, the flour, which is challah, it's not challah at all, right? So the Kohen goes back to the Israel and says, Mister, take it back ASAP. Red hot potato, I'm giving it back to you. Why? It's not challah b'chlal. It's not challah. You're absolutely mistaken. And what's Israel going to do? He's going to learn his lesson. We'll knead the dough, add water, and then take challah, kedas v'chadin. That's where it should be. Mashe'enken, if the Kohen gives back the truma, or the bad one, to the Yisrael. Now, if the Kohen tells him, Mister, this is not truma, it's wrong, because midoraisa it is truma. You know what's going to happen now? Even worse, Michshol. Because of your Chumad Rabbanon, he's going to be now over and worse Issa Doraisa. Let's say there's a few tomatoes. He gave him the half-rotten tomato. Now the Kohen will give it back to him. What's Israel going to do? Mix it back. He's going to put it back in his batch of tomatoes. And now that tomato Doraisa is Truma. Oy vavoy. So now the Israel will eat Truma. For the Israel to eat Truma is also Chiyuv Misa. Get that? So Mimele, because of your Frumkeit and Chumrah, what's going to come out? A worse Isser. The Kohen will give him back something which Midoraisa is Truma, only Midorbanon it's not. Rabbanon can't undo the Torah. Now he has something even worse. By the Chala and a Chanam, it's Chulin, it's nothing. Put it back with the other batch and knead it and take. With the tomatoes, it's worse. He has something which is Truma, it's singled out as Truma. He'll mix it. Amoritz doesn't know much. Yeah, all this Frumkeit, he'll just mix it back into his batch of other tomatoes. He'll eat them all. Oy vavoy. Now this Truma is Truma. Oy oy oy. He'll mix it with his good fruit, which were already meistered from somewhere else, and say, okay, I'll put it back with the rest. He's eating truma. For Yisrael to eat truma is bad. Second reason, said Rashi, you're so concerned about him not giving truma, it's only the Rabbanon. Rabbanon can be flexible and say, but the Eved, that Amoretz, we don't want to start with him. Let the bad tomato stay with the Kohen, and worst comes to worst, the rest that stayed in out of the Israel, I say it's okay. But the Raisa took Truma. So let's leave the Gzer the Rabbanon alone. Rabbanon are not Machmir because it can cause a worse Michshoel. Now the Gemara proves, how do you know? How do you know that giving bad Truma is only the Rabbanon a problem and not the Raisa? There'll be Eloi. Domo be Eloi. Settle be Eloi. Minayna Torim in a ro al hayofa. How do you know that if somebody gives Truma from bad quality over good quality, meaning he gave the Kohen the bad 5, 7, 8 tomatoes and stayed with the good ones, which many people I'm sure have the Yetzer Hara to do, right? How do you know shetrumos truma? How do you know that midoraisa it's a good truma? Because it says about that very same case, shenemar v'lo tisu olav chet barim chemes chelboy. Meaning, when you merim, when you give truma the chelev, we don't mean chelev as what did he say this morning in Psukei de Zimra? Chelev chitim yasbiach, right? The chitim don't have chelev. Chelev means the best of the fruit. Although chelev is the fat of the animal, as we all know, the chelev haaretz, right? Yeah, chelev of the fruit means the good part of the fruit, of the grains of whatever. Read again the pasuk. Meaning, when you take the best fruit, you're not going to have an avera. Meaning that if you take the bad one, which one? You take the bad tomato, the bad avocado, the bad grapes, and you give them to the Kohen, it will be a sin. It will be a sin. What does that mean? That it's valid. It's applicable. Let me ask you a question. A brother who gave Kiddushin to a sister, it's stupid, it's silly, it's a tzedakah. Is that an avera? No, it's nothing. It's a shtut. Nothing happened. When you do something that's halachically invalid, it's not an avera, it's nothing. Says the Gemara, Im einoi kodosh nisius chet lama. If you think that midoraisa, if I gave the Kohen a bad truma, it's considered as a chet, it means that it's called something kodosh. The truma applied, and we say, you're a naughty boy, you're a naughty man. You gave the Kohen truma, it's called truma, and gave him bad truma, that's not nice. We tell the Israel, if you give the Kohen truma that's bad, you're stingy, you're not nice, you have to treat Kohanim nicely, or more nicely, and if you don't, that's an avera. That's only true if what I gave them is a truma. But if I gave bad tomato, it's like giving him a plastic toy. It's not called an avera. If giving bad truma from the good batch is nothing, that's not called an avera. I just didn't do anything. From the fact that I really gave truma, and the Torah calls it the Romas truma, that means that the bad one, but the Eved Midorai says, okay, Rabbanon are the ones who said you have to give another one because that's what we decided. Very good. Omarove. Now we're back to here. This is our diagram of the Mishnah. Case number one is, we're going to call it later, going back to the original Mishnah where we're holding, allow me just to make the Peruche. Case number one, a man told a woman, Proti is separate, each one separate, either or. Iskacheli betmorazu, Iskacheli betmorazu, Iskacheli betmorazu, P is for pruta. It does not all of them have to be pruta. This is the either or sign, yeah, the slash. Either this one or this one or this one, whichever one has to be shova pruta. Pick your choice. Either the brown date or the yellow date or the Jordanian date, whichever date you want. Any of them shova pruta. Pick your choice, lady. She picked one without eating. All very good. Case number two, accumulative. He told this kachli bezu ubezu kloli. We're going to call it like that later, so I'm preparing you. Kloli means kulam klulim. They're all included, which means and. This is less than shover pruta. It's a smaller one. It's less than shover pruta, but plus equals pruta. It's kiddushin, right? If she received no eating, she received a third, another third of pruta. Altogether, it's a pruta. Mazel tov, all very nice. Bais neman beisroil. It's all one and the other. That's poshu. That's the easy part. What's the last part? We said im ochlo, if she ate one after the other. Now he told her iskacheli beputa, and we don't know what he said. There are two explanations here. We're now following the explanation of Ravami. I'm bad with names. We follow the opinion of Ravami that said what? If he told her, this relates to this. If he told her and plus, right? Yeah, be mekadesh with this and with this and with this. He wants all three dates to be the kiddushin. And she started eating. She ate this one. When she ate it, what was it? Milva. She borrowed because he didn't yet finish the kiddushin. And she ate this one. He didn't yet finish the kiddushin. Only when she had this one in her hand, the camera freezes on that half a second. When it's in her hand before she ate, mitzido, boom, that's a maki bepatish. Aye, right? Kiddushin is over. It's as if the ring is on her finger completely, all the way down. Yeah. At that moment, there's a shove pruta. These are not helpful for us. It's milve because she ate them. Can be mekadesh with milve. This one, before she borrowed it by eating it, she chapped it. She's holding it. Mazel tov. Then we say if one of them, the Mishnah didn't say the last one. Rabbi Ami said that. Rabbi Ami said, if the last one is shove pruta, then great. Before this glutton managed to eat it, it's in her hand, and she's miskadesh by inan milve, and it's shove pruta. But if all three are less than shove pruta, ain't working. Why? Milve, and less than shove pruta. All of them are bad. It won't work. That's Rabbi Ami. Now, Rav Shmuel said something else. We're not talking about it now. We'll talk about it later. We saw Rav Shmuel before. We'll see them later. But now we'll just relate to this case the way we learn it now. Back to the case. Now, Rava has something very, very, very important to say. Rava has a very big, he wants to qualify what we just said. You okay? I'm over it. Yes. That's a thing. So the Gemara said, I should have just continued. So Gemara said that. The Gemara says, must be Rami Abin believes that when a woman gets a sofa kiddushin, kiddushin in installments, installment number 1, number 2, could take a few days also. Says Rabbi Ami, the way I view it, that's Rabbi Ami. Rav Shmuel can argue, and they probably do. Rabbi Ami says, I believe that when a woman gets a stage in the kiddushin, I view it as what did you say? Not as matana, but as a pikodon. That's the way it is. Most men wouldn't like, if you refuse me, I refuse you. Why should it stay by you as a matana? I'm giving it to you as a pikodon. If things get serious with us, we'll end up kiddushin. Lemafrea, it is really, it's yours. The pikodon becomes yours. That's the way we view it. And Chanami, you're right. Had we viewed the first two as matana, then we wouldn't have that issue. Then it all would be good. But it's not. Rabbi Ami Gufa holds nishtazoi. Rabbi Ami holds that the first two are pikodon. What happens when you eat a pikodon and the other guy doesn't mind? It's called in Old French milve. And Chanami. We had to add that. Thank you for reminding us. Very good. You only reminded us of what we said before. Beautiful. Rabbi Shmuel, good. Rabbi Shmuel may say otherwise. Omar Rove, says Rove, we're starting today's Amud. Says Rove, big exception to the rule. Omar Rove, Lo Shanu, what we just said, that the third date has to be shove pruta, or else it's a problem. Ela de omer lo bezu ubezu ubezu. He said to her, listen to this. He told her, eat zu, and she ate. And no, hare at mekudeshes li, and he did not finish his sentence. Hare at mekudeshes li be. Everyone thinks he said tabat tabat zu. No, hare at mekudeshes li tabat zu. She ate. Ubezu, she ate. Ubezu, and we know that's the last one. Mazel tov. Because she started eating them before he finished his entire statement. Aval, soon you'll see the contrast. Aval omer le be'elu, afilo cheles nami mekudeshes. Let's say he told her everything is pre-planned. Are at mekudeshes li, camera, flash, rabbi, yeah. Are at mekudeshes li betmarim elu, kedas Moshe Israel. He's holding 3 tmorim in his hands. And then she took them and she ate one, mekudeshes. No problem. Even if none of them is shove pruta. Why? Because when she ate what's hers already, which means it's a big chiddush. Listen to what I'm telling you now. Yeah, the chiddush is like this. We all know that when a chosen stands out of the Jewish huppah, there are 2 things he does: amira and maisa. And then he puts the ring on the finger. When does the Kiddushin end? I would say amira and the tabas and the money, right? Here we agree to that, but we're making a very fine difference here. We're saying like this: when the person said bezu, until he finished the dibur, it's not over. So she pre-ate it. She ate it too early. She ate the milve before the Kiddushin is over. But if he told her be'elu, although he didn't give her all 3 yet, yeah, then if she ate one, she is already eating her own. Why? Because when you said elu, you really finished the Kiddushin, elamai, you have to give it. You have to come up with the money. I'll give you a good example. Tzvi and I are sitting, finally, it's been already years, I don't know, yeah? That's it, I'm buying your motorcycle. We made a kinyan with Adim, with everything. I need to give you the cash. It's a debt, yeah? But it's a done deal. Everybody knows, right? That once you're allowed to use the money then, right? I'm giving the money in installments. After it's a done deal, no shaila. You're eating your own money. That's what's going on over here. It's a big chiddush. When he told her, be'elu, although the nesina is not yet over, but we know that all 3 tmarim are supposed to come her way, and then he gives her one, and she ate one, and she ate, and one she ate, it's fine, because the dibur of the kiddushin is done, and the nesina is already hers, because there is no question anymore of installment. What's going to be in the future? Nobody can return. She said her at mekudeshes li, and once she received the dates and she ate them, says it's as if she received all 3, and then she ate them. What's the problem, right? As I told you many times, if a girl 5 minutes after the receiving the tabas, she said, "I'm your wife, I'm your loyal wife, I'm your legal wife, I'm your eshes chayil," and then she took the tabas, threw it in the garbage, she's mekudeshes. Or she ate it. Don't eat the tabas. She ate the chocolate bar, whatever gave her, no problem. That's what Rav is coming to say. Then, once the dibur is over, it's over. Of course, it's not completely over because she has to get the tmorim. That's condition. But be'etzem itzad matono halva pikadon. We're out of these questions already. We know that once she heard the words total, there's nothing else for him to say. Yeah, there's nothing for him to say the whole life. All he's going to say from now on is what? Yes, dear. There's nothing else more for him to say. Then all the tmorim that she receives, they're already hers. It's her right to eat her dates. Right? That's what Rava says. Okay. This brisa has a few parts to it. It's not a complicated brisa. It just has to be read, and we have to see each segment separately. Part number 1, first part. We want to bring a brisa that supports Rava. The story is as follows: Iskacheli be'aloin be'rimon u'be'egoiz. Rashi says alone is like some kind of food that's similar to chestnuts, and those who like to eat it are the pigs, but also human beings eat them. That's what Rashi says. Yeah, I don't. It's not chestnuts. It's something like acorn, but people eat acorns. Alone is acorn, right? It's oak. Oak. I know alone is oak, but people don't eat acorns. Maybe if you cook them, Bishas said chak. Maybe I never tried. Okay. You roast them and you grind it, it's edible. Oh, we have askoma. Very good. What? Weiter. Deine Kavose Dove. Iskacheli ba'aloin berimut be'egois. Okay, I'm educated now. He told her that I'm mekadesh you with this oak thing with the acorn, with a rimon, with pomegranate, and with the egois with a nut. He's nuts about her. So aloin rimon ve'egois. Very nice. Okay, 3 items. By the way, don't be moved by the 3 items. It's the same as 3 tmorim. The fact that there are 3 different species does make a difference. That really does. What? Oh, lat, 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 lat. Oy shomerla, slowly. Oy shomerla, he told her, is kacheli be'elu. Either told her alon rim and goes, or he told her in these, in all 3 of these. Im yesh bekulan shve pruta mikudeshes. Im la vene mikudeshes. In other words, but if you're not sure about what's alon rim and vegos as opposed to elu, you're in good company. The Gemara is going to ask the question. But one thing we know for sure, that this is what? Accumulative. They all have to be shove pruta within amongst them. All of them together have to accumulate your pruta. Slowly. Yeah, alon rimon egois, right? All of them together between them have to be shove pruta. Yeah, that's mufurish. How it works, aguta kasha, but this is a case of kloli. They all have to add up to the amount. Now, case number 2. Bezu ubezu ubezu. He told her in this and this and this, looking at the 3 acorn and thing. So if you told her this and this and this, same halacha. Interesting. So basically, the Brisa broke the same halacha of kloli of third and third and third to 2 different cases. One is this like weird case of elu, and the other one is bezu ubezu ubezu. But at the end of the day, it's the same halacha. Whether told her all 3 or told her this and this and this, in both cases, we're talking about a cumulative, and between them, they have to be shaver pruta. Okay, we still don't know. Why did you have to break it to 2 cases? Yeah, you should have said this case and that case. Halacha applies to both. We broke the case to 2, and soon we'll know why. Third story, the tato v'achaltoi. Oh, here is the foodie girl. The tato v'achaltoi. Yeah. Bezu, netato ve'achal. No, sorry. Bezu. Listen carefully to what we said. Now you'll agree with what I said before. Bezu, he told her, Arat mekudeshesli with this, and she ate. Bezu ve'achaltoi. Yeah. Bezu netato ve'achaltoi. Bezu netato ve'achaltoi. Right? That's the third case. In other words, he told her, Arat mekudeshesli with this, but he didn't finish the sentence. He didn't finish the sentence. And she ate. And then he said, and in this one, and she ate. That's exactly what Rava said, right? That if the sentence wasn't yet finished and she ate it before the sentence is finished, what's halacha we said? One of them has to be shova pruta, otherwise it's alone. But now we have a 4th case, case number 4, before we come to the maskona. The oid bezu. He told her even and. He stressed more the and this too. The oid bezu. Instead of saying and this too. It's basically making them more divisive, more kilo separate each one. No, not more separate. More cumulative, excuse me. And let's abandon the very last case alone. We'll see that at the end. But the second to last case is very good. When she was told this and she ate, and this and she ate, then one of them has to be shove puta. Similar to Rava. But now the Gemara will analyze this brisa down to the T. All will be beautifully explained by Hashem. Case number 1, he told her what? Aloin, Rimon, and Egois. Fact the Gemara, Hi, Balon, Rimon, Egois, Echidami. If you notice, the Mishnah, the brisa, didn't specify about Alon, Rimon, and Egois. Was it and? Was it or? Later, we spoke about the cumulative and. But just the sentence, Alon, Rimon, Egois, wasn't clear. Is it and this and that, or is it either or? Echidami, what's the story? Let's examine, let's inquire. If he told her either or, either this or that or the other, then it doesn't make sense halacha. Because what did we say in the middle of the Mishnah? Yes. We said between all 3 of them, it has to be shava pruta. That's downright wrong. Because if you're telling me that the Alon Riemann case is the proti, either or, then it's not good if between all of them the Shava Pruta and each one is just a third. Because he said each one, at least one of them has to be Shava Pruta, right? For her to choose. Pick your choice, either or. If it's either or, you can't have all of them less than Shava Pruta. Can't be. So for sure we nix it. Can't be. Yeah. Ve'ela must be what? The Alon uberimoin ubegois. Ah. Mm-hmm. He told her what? He told her, be miskadesh to me with the aloin and the rimoin and the egos, right? All three together. Halachically, it makes sense. If all three between them are worth pruta, even though each one's just a third, that's good enough. But the question is, hainu bezu, bezu, bezu. Then it's the same as the second case. What are you mekadesh? Right? If you remember, the following case was, he told her this and this and this. Why repeating yourself twice? Right? Why repeat? Yeah. He said aloin and rimon and egois, or he said this and this and the other. He's saying the same thing twice. Why? What for? Ella lav the omer lo be'elu. Ah, very good. Ah, must be told her be'elu, meaning there's a third option, my friends. He did not say this. In other words, there are two ways to do installments. Either told her this, and there was one date he placed on the table or in her hand, and this, and he placed, and this, and he placed. Or he can say he's picking up three dates, and he said, "Arei at mekadesh li be'elu kidash moisav Israel." Yeah, and he means all three together. And then she took them, no eating yet. Yeah, arei at mekadesh li be'tmorim elu, 1, 2, 3 together, all three together, and he handed Ma'azal Tov. Okay, frag the Gemara. If so, also does stylistically there's an issue here. And by the way, halachically it's okay. Of course, all three between them have to be Shava Pruta, right? Look, a bag of candies, a bag of Tmorim of 3, 4, 5. If between the whole bag, the entire bag together is worth Pruta, that's all I need. Avada. But again, stylistically, something's wrong here because again, it's repetitive. Again, it's repetitive. Hamdiktani Seifa, it says in the later part of the Mishnah, Oy she'omer lo hiskachli be'elu. Oh, it said, or alternatively, he told her hiskachli be'elu. Michlal, that is clearly indicating the Reshala Be'elu Askinan must be the Resha is not Elu. In fact, that's the next sentence after Rimon, right? Alon Rimon Egois or Elu. What do you mean? You just told me Alon Rimon Egois is Elu. In other words, whichever way you read the Alon Rimon and Egois, either it's not true or it's redundant. What do? Answers the Gemara, it's very good. Nothing happened. All is nice. Hirushika Mefaresh. Oh, the first part of the Mishnah is explained by the second sentence. Very, very easy. It's not even Enukim, that's not even Chtur Mechsara. Which means, is Kachili Ba'aloin Berimon Be'egois Ketzad. It's a title. A man wants to be mekadesh a woman in a very unique, exotic way. It's a Tu B'Shvat, yeah? He wants to be mekadesh her, he's a vegetarian, yeah? He wants to be mekadesh her with all kinds of interesting fruit, yeah? He wants to be out of the box. And what? How does that work? How, in general now, how does it work, those Kiddushim of 3 fruit? Kigoin, the Omer Law, yeah, this is an example, it's an explanation. Kigon the Omer Law, like he told her, he's Kachili Be'elu. Very good. So the Reisha spoke about a guy who told her, be miskadesh to me in all 3. It's not 2 cases, either Alon Rimon or Elu. He told her, be miskadesh, look, here's a fruit of, an assortment of 3 different fruit, and that's nice. It's very unique, much nicer than all those schmaltzy rings that my friends give at the chatzanah. I'm giving you 3 fruit. Iskacheli be'elu. Givaldig, why not? As long as all 3 together between them are worth pruta, shein azach, very good. And yet the ktani seifa. So now, by the way, we sorted out a lot of issues here, a lot of issues. Case number 1 of the Mishnah of the Brisa is Elu. He told her all 3 together. The second case, also all 3, but in installments. He's kacheli bezu, and he gave her an acorn. He's like a magician, he's hiding things. He wants to be shticky, like all these young guys who do all these marriage proposals in all these crazy ways. Yeah, he's giving her an acorn. Oh wow! And then and bezu, and bezu, rub it out of the hat every time something new. At the end of the day, it's the same halacha, right? These have to be cumulative between them. And also the second one. Oh, what's the difference? The Ktani Seifa, in the second case we see, Bezu. Oh, regarding the second case we said, the Tato V'Achaltoi That's a difference, which means now we know everything. The Brisa spoke only about kloli. There are two types of kloli, as I just told you. First case, all three together. Look, I'm not hiding anything. I'm not playing shtick with you. Look, there's a bag. It's a transparent nylon bag. You can see right here, there are three fruit, tiny, each one less than shover pruta. Between them, shover pruta, atem kudeshes li, be peiros elu, alan riman egos, kadar, that's what she saw. He gave it to her, mazel tov. All three. Second type of kloli is when he's doing it in installments. Both are valid and good. So what's the difference? Why did we divide them to two? Because of the case of ochlo. Ah, very good, very good. The case of if she ate it too early is only an issue in the Seifa. I'm reading again. We read Ktani Seifa only regarding the case of the slow installments. Then we said the netato v'achaltoi, if she ate them one after the other as he goes along, it's very good, because that's this case, my friends. Ochlo, what did we say? One, as long as they didn't finish his sentence, he's still in the middle of mekadeshing her. He's taking out of his beautiful pocket more and more things. If she ate them, Kiddushin is not over. Hey, lady, you're too early. Milve, oh, if the last one, the surviving one is shover pruta, then quickly chap before you ate it. Mazel tov mikudeshes. Bilu reisha, and yet in the back to the Gemara, the line starts with mikudeshes in the middle of the narrow lines or a bit below. Yeah, the ilu reisha loka maflik benucheles lemanachas. Oh, in the case of the reisha, when he told about all three, arei at mikudeshes li, how in all three together. That's it. I'm done with my sentence. Even if technically he gave it to them one after the other, it's all there. She saw them all. The Kiddushin statement was done. Yeah. Then I don't care that she ate one after the other. Why? It's hers. You're allowed to eat your fruit. Shmami, no, this is Rava's big moment. Now we proved Rava's point. Beautiful end of story. We see that if you told her be'elu, so the statement is gone, over, finished, and clear. And she is, oh, yes, dear, amazing, nice, good. He gave it to her one after the other. That's not milva. He's giving her, it's as if a guy would give the tabas slowly. Or he's mekadesh her with 3 rings, one after the other. But it's already after the be'etzim post facto of that the statement was done. And therefore, it's called eating from her own food, and it's no problem. And even if all 3 are less than shava pruta, we're okay. Adkan Rova is amazing and good, and we are okay with that. And now we're going to focus on a different point of that brisa. And we're only going to get today probably to the wide line, or maybe further. Questions, or are we okay? Yes, question time. Question time. Before we continue, as you all have, this brisa, with all its versatile cases, there was one common denominator. The brisa is only a kloli. Our brisa that we saw now, gives you different versions and stories and issues of accumulative, right? Our brisa here with the Alan Riemann Egos, the brisa we just saw half a second ago, does not talk about proti, about either or. It only spoke about kloli, either together, one after the other. It's all together, right? Good. Well, why not? I want to refresh your memory now, and it's extremely important. And I told guys in yeshiva that now they have to flip back the page. I'll give you a reduction. You don't have to. If you remember, and I reminded you of that, remember the last statement that if she ate, then one of them has to be shover pruta? Up until now, we followed the opinion of Rabbi Ami. Yeah? What did Rabbi Ami say? We're talking about the second case. That third case of the Mishnah, if you remember, we are not sure if to pin it to the second case or pin it to the first case. These are the arrows over here. This is Rav Ami. Rav Ami is here, right? And this is Rav Vushmuel. Excuse my, hieroglyphics handwriting. Yeah. Rav Ami is the one which we've been following more lately. Rav Ami says, listen, why is it a problem? What did we say? If she ate them all, one after the other, then one of them has to be shover pruta. Rabbi Ami made a beautiful crafted pshat here, a svara. We're talking here about the cumulative, and only the last one is the boom baki bepatish. And if you ate it too early, it's milve. Milve doesn't work in Kiddushin. So the last one, which is not the milve, which is The real one has to be Shava Pruta. Nice. That's not what Rabbi Shmuel said. Rabbi Shmuel said no. Rabbi Shmuel argued on Rabami. Could be because of you. Maybe they think it's a matona, right? Not a milveh. And they say, you know what's pshati in the ochla? Remember what we said? Rabbi Shmuel said no. We're talking here about a guy who said either or. And when it's either or, then one of them at least has to be Shava Pruta. And so too, when she ate, it also has to be Shava Pruta. So the Gemara went, why? Said the Gemara. So what's the difference whether she ate it or not, right? Whether she ate or didn't eat, of course, one of them has to be Shava Pruta. It's an either or. Answer the Gemara, you liked Yosef, and that is what? If she's so hot, about the dates, yeah, maybe for her it's worth so much, right? Even though it's less than Shava Pruta, she seems to be a real date lover, right? She seems to be a dateaholic because she gets them in the middle of the chasana hall. She can't resist with a white dress. She's eating them as you go along, right? She loves them so much. It's mikarva hanuyoso, says the Gemara. In other words, enjoyment is very available and very near. So maybe she can be miskadish even with less than Shava Pruta. That was the Havamina. Kamash Malan, we don't say that. Halacha is halacha, and you only miskadish with Shava Pruta, no less than that. And a woman can't be miskadish, by the way. I'm 90% sure now that no. A woman can't say I'm miskadish with less than Shava Pruta if everybody else doesn't see it's a Pruta, no. Okay, so that's Rav Shmuel. That's a machloikis. Now the Gemara is going to ask the question on Rav Shmuel. Rav Shmuel will now be attacked. Hanicha, frag the Gemara. Hanicha leman de Omar aseifa koi. According to the man de Omar, I'm very happy that we have the chart here. According to Rav Ami, that said that the story of the ochla, of the eating, relates to the seifa. Umay ad shebachas men sheva pruta. What does the Mishnah mean when it says one of them has to be Shava Pruta? The last one, which is the only one which is a non-milveh, has to be Shava Pruta. Achinami, our brisa works beautiful according to Rabbi Shava Pruta. Very good. You know the brisa meant when the brisa says one of them has to be Shava Pruta? Not this, but last one. That's what it means. Those are milveh, lousy down the drain. The last surviving one should be Shava Pruta. Very good. Ela Rav Shmuel. Rav Shmuel argued on Rav Ami. And what did they say? The Amitar Vayu Areshakai. Rav Shmuel don't believe in that. Rabbi Sai. Rav Shmuel don't hold of that story. They don't think that if you, and I want to thank you, Tzvi, for actually telling me why. Rav Shmuel probably think that it's not considered to be halva, it's considered as a matana. So there's no issue. They don't think that if she eats them as she goes along, there's a problem of milveh. How did they interpret the problem? They said it's not a problem. They said, Areshakai, the oichelis itztrichale. What's oichelis itztrichale? We're talking about an or, either or. And the Kiddush is that even though she eats it and she loves it so much, even though it has to be Shava Pruta. But according to them, that whole business with Einash Alva, they don't all of it. Oh. How will they explain the Mishnah here? How will they explain the Brisa? The Gemara is asking, Hacha over here, Klali kachoshiv, prati lo kachoshiv. In this case of the Brisa, we only spoke about klal, not prat. You're telling me that when is it you have to have one date Shava Pruta? When it's either or. But when it's all of them together, you never have to have Shava Pruta. How can they explain the Brisa? Let me summarize the question again. Let me repeat the question. Our Brisa spoke about klali, right? 1, 2, 3. Between all of them, there has to be Shava Pruta. Together, alone, leave me alone. It's all together, right? Good. Right? Now, according to Rav Shmuel, when a girl gets 1, 2, 3, even if she eats them as she goes along, right? It's no problem. It's still okay because they think it's a matana. Lemafreya, once she'll receive the last date, retroactively, it was all hers. Really, she ate her own thing. Excuse me, Rav Shmuel, how do you explain the Brisa? The Brisa spoke here clearly only about klali, not about proti. And the Brisa, black and white, did require the one tomer should be a Shava Pruta one. How do you explain that, right? Answers the Gemara like this. Ho mani, you know, it's a machloikis. I may read to you, Toises may not. The last opinion who spoke about eating is a different Tana who argues on the Reisha. And with that, we'll finish. I mean, not Shiur, we'll finish the Sugya. How many Rebbe? Yeah, the next Sugya is much easier. The last sentence about and, eat, that's Rebbe. What did Rebbe say? The Omar. Loishna kazais, the kazais protohavi, which means Up until now, we thought that our brisa is the brisa only about kloli. Says now, says the Gemara to defend Rav Shmuel, Rebbe, regarding a sugya in Zvochim, which I will explain to you later, I promise, bli neder. Rebbe is a very unique shita, and he holds if you say X and Y, we still view it as if you said X or Y. That's shita's Rebbe. Ask a question, it's in Zvochim. Oh, and therefore, when he told her in the Seifa, this and this and this, he really meant either or. Huh. So according to Rebbe, this case is really the case of this and is a protesdika case, right? And therefore, in this case, it's either or. And obviously, when it's either or, one of them has to be shavar pruta. Simple. Wow. Yes. In other words, if you read the brisa again, the last two takes, remember, I promised you. You remember when we said ve'oid bezu, and you corrected me, it's a cumulative? Yeah, I spoke like Rebbe. Rebbe says, even if you say this and ve'oid, I don't know how Rebbe would learn when you really want to accumulate. I don't know what Rebbe would do. But unless known otherwise, I know what Rebbe would say. Yes, Rebbe would say you have to say skachi every time separately. Yeah? No, the other way around. No, the other way around. Forget it. Rebbe says, just like when you say hiskacheli bezu, it's separate. So too when you said this and that, it's also separate. And therefore, in the end of the brisa, when he said and also, according to Rebbe, it's each one either or. When it's each one either or, you have to not only the last one of them, the first, the second, or last of the 15, one of them has to be shavar pruta, just like the Mishnah's very first case. Very simple. The case of Rebbe, I'll listen to you soon, I promise, later. The case of Rebbe, to appease you, I will tell you that is the case of a person who shechts a korban. If a person does shchita, anybody can do that. Or a kohen does kabbalah or halacha. And you know that when a person thinks the wrong kind of machshava regarding the future of the korban, it disqualifies the korban. If a person thinks when he shechts the korban, I will eat it later. I will eat it not today, I'll eat it in 2 days' time. Also, for that, right? That's a korban chatas. He is a kohen. I'm a kohen. I'm going to eat it in 2 days' time. That makes the korban pigul. It's pigul, and whoever eats it, even on time, is chav kores. Mashenken, if he thinks I will eat it outside Beis Hamikdash, it's also bad. Not allowed to eat it outside Beis Hamikdash, chatas. But then if you eat it, it's not chiv kores. It's just an is. That's called pigul, and that's called the latter one is called psul. What if a person had both machshavas? He said, I'm going to eat it. Yeah, let's say. Pick your choice. I'll eat it later. And he thought in his mind, and he said, Rashi says you have to say it at the beginning of Menachos, I will eat it. Is a very anti-religious kohen. I will eat it, what? Later in time. And also, I will eat it outside. So we separate them. Even though he said, and Rebbe said it's kilo, he said two separate things. And the first thing he said is what? I'll eat it later. Chayv kol is. And we don't say it's a mixed thing of both of them together, which would be lighter because it's mixed with the non-chorus. It's a separate statement of chorus. You not have chorus for thinking it. You have chorus if you eat it. Yes, Rabbeinu Peretz. But all we have to know there's one thing from Rebbe. According to Rebbe, even though you thought or you said X and Y, Allah views it as X or Y. That's what we have to know. So Rebbe is a good guy for a Mishnah, according to Rav Shmuel. Either or. Of course, you have to have one of them shavar pruta. That goes without saying. Yes, question time. Weiter, first wide line. This is a sugya, a famous sugya of mekadesh b'milva. It's going to be with us for a long time. Yeah, weiter. Says the Heilige Gemara, Omar Rav, a mekadesh b'milva eine mekudeshes. A person was mekadesh a woman with milva. She's not mekudeshes. Why? Milva lo tzo nitna, which means, as we explained before yesterday, a person told a woman, well, you have my money, you owe me money. Remember I lent you money a month ago? You owe me the money. You know, they've been dating for 3-4 dates already. Oh, let's get serious. No dates. No, I'm not mekadesh with dates. I'm not like this exotic guy. And why should I pay new cash? Stay with your money. Yeah. Not with the hano of the mechila. That's a different story. With actual money, right? There's money in your pocket, money in your drawer, money in your bank account, which you borrowed from me, and you're supposed to give it back to me. If not, I'll send the mafia after you. Then what? Stay with it. Stay with the money, and with that, I'm mekadesh you. Sounds like deducting is a good solution. It's not. Why? She's not mekudeshes. Mil velo tzo nitna, famous line. I want to see Rashi because it's such a classical Rashi. Second wide line in the middle of the Ein mekudeshes. Look at Rashi Ein mekudeshes. Afilu yeshna be'ein. Even if the money is in her drawer, you lent her 5,000 shekels in a green envelope with a nice butterfly. It's in her top drawer in her bedroom. Even if the money is there, be'ein, in existence, she's not mekudeshes. Why not? Says the next Rashi. What? True. So let's explain deeper. Right. Lo nitna. What does that mean? Every loive, of course, is allowed to spend the money that he borrowed. You don't borrow money to just, keep it in your window pane, yeah? Rashi is adding something. You don't always have to have the money, as opposed to the bank or a picodon. You don't always have to have the money available, like in an iska. To have, like, one could say, no, I lent you the money, so you should invest it in a business, and the business should have profit, right? But the keren, the principal, I always want to have available for me. Sometimes people do that with gmachim or the bank. That's not the case of a classical alvo, unless otherwise. That's not alvo. No, the loiva can spend all the money in half a second, hopefully in good things, and in a month's time, then he'll have to give you new money. New money has to give you. The keren l'otzo nitna. Listen carefully to the punchline, the famous Rashi all over Shas. Havia la kidido. It's as if it's hers. The money is hers, even though the money is the same $5,000 note with the same George Washington in green envelope. When you gave it to her, and she practically can use it in half a second, and she knows how to. So betzim, the money is hers. Well, it's not yours anymore. You can't demand it now. You can demand it in a month's time. New money. Below yohiv lamidi, you're not giving her anything. In Kiddushin, you have to give money. You didn't give her money. Yeah, she stays with her money. Yeah. Now, having said that, we did say in Daf Vav Amud Beis that if you told her at mekadeshly bahanos mechila, that's something else. Which means, remember what we said? Yeah, I know that we won't go further, so let's just go a little bit further to do chazorah. Let's say he's telling her very correctly, arat mekudeshly, with the enjoyment that I forgave you, that I that I gave up on the milveh, that I forgo, that rescinded, that I rescinded the loan. Rescinded, very nice. Rescinderella. He rescinded the loan, right? So now that is different. Why? Any woman that's, let's say, or men that's down and out, that's tight for cash, and the bank and the gemach, some bad people, they chase after him for the money for the $5,000, let's say. Let's say there's a good guy who tells her, I'll be misad of them. I know how to talk to them nicely, that they'll get off your back, and I charge. I'm a lawyer, I'm a regular guy, I'm a black market guy, I don't know who he is, yeah? I know how to deal with that thug and that bank and that gmach, that they'll get off your back 5,000, but I don't work for free. Give me $300. She would, right? She'd give him $300 to get rid of the 5,000. Oh, so if the man tells her, Aret mukudeshesli with a hano, you would have paid another guy to convince me, right? So the fact, the actual forgiving or rescinding is worth money, that you can be miskadish, because that's something you gave her. I'm giving you the service of kilu talking, of being moichel. Being moichel is worth money. You'd pay somebody to do that for you, to press that button for you, but that's not the case over here. If he tells her, with the 5,000 in the green envelope, yeah, she's not mekudeshes. It's her money. Can be mekadesh with her money. At the end of the day, if she goes to the bank, it's all zero balance. So what? He has to give her something new. Kidin is giving money. He didn't give her money. You made her stay with her money and you forgave what you're supposed to get in a month's time. That's not called what? Kiddushin, because it's not new money. And all that will be explained thoroughly, Be'ezus Hashem, next week, probably half the week, we're going to talk about Milva L'Tonitna. Atzlocho Brocha, thank you very much. And may we see Yeshua's very, very soon. This matzav has to finish and become only Geula. Thank you very much, Atzlocho Brocha. My wife told me that Rav Kamenetsky from Philadelphia said that this is the last war. Even he said. Yeah, he said, that's it. No more wars, Mashiach. So the American Gedolim, they say that too. Atzlocha and Brocha, a guten Shabbos.